Welcome to the pod, ladies and gentlemen. Grandmothers, grandfathers, sons, daughters, everyone involved on this planet Earth. How you doing, Paul?
I'm just chilling today. How about you, Nico?
I'm doing well. The podcast, what's the podcast, Paul? Give them a little insight.
So the podcast is basically it's a platform for students, for people that are passionate about what they do. And we want to show them in their best light. So if you have any opportunities, if you want to come on the pod, send us a DM. We'll see what we can do.
Little Insta reply you might get. Of course, students that do all types of things, whether that's sports, anything, music, photography, art. We're interested in all of you. Hope you guys enjoy our show. Want to come on? Peace. Let's go. Give me like the little. I get into my. I love getting into my. I look into. All right. Welcome to the pod, ladies and gentlemen. We're here today with Tyna. Can we give a little round of applause?
Thank you, Shad.
Hello.
Beautiful Tyna. Today we're going to be talking about a variety of things. Variety of things. Okay. Paul's going to go through what we're going to be discussing.
So, first of all, a bit of photography. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, like your life, what you do, etc.
Everything.
You know,
Everything from top to bottom.
Then we're gonna talk a bit about creativity. So, just in general, and finishing off with like relatable stuff. You know, for the students that listen to us that would want to get started, etc.
Exactly. Just to get started though, before that, do you want to introduce yourself to the public? You want to tell a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, maybe. What do you want people to know about you?
Yeah. Give us a little inside information.
Okay. I'm Tyna. I'm a photographer,
Yeah.
currently studying media and communication in Rotterdam. I'm 22.
Damn.
I'm very
So young, bro.
passionate about my creativity and creative people.
Lack of inspiration right there.
Yeah, lack of inspiration right here.
No worries.
I'm put on the spot.
Exactly. But Tyna does the same course that me and Paul, we all do.
Exactly.
We all do communication media. Very creative course. Let's call it like that. A lot of artists. I like to say artists, you know. We've got a vision, a lot of us.
Fair. Yeah.
Because you know,
Depends.
when I meet people like who do business, economics, all that, and you say, we do communication and media, they're all like, huh? What do you do? Like it's like they look down on it, right?
Yeah, true.
But now, no, we're full of artists in our program. But to get into it, we wanted to first talk to you about why do you do photography and how did it start and everything about that, man.
So the way I started was I was traveling in Vietnam in like 2018, and I thought I'm gonna become like a travel vlogger, you know, like
Okay.
What, like
Jay
YouTube?
Alvarez or
Like on YouTube?
yeah,
Oh.
or some cold. Those were my aspirations. So I got a camera afterwards, and then I figured that I liked taking pictures more. So I just stuck to that.
And then was there like a thing of like there was specific thing you like taking pictures of, or was it just I like taking pictures of a scenery of people, or there wasn't like a precise?
I think I always knew I liked taking pictures of people. So I used a lot of my friends to just like, let's go somewhere, like let's go
just
to the
like-
park and take a few pictures. I wasn't always a fan of like nature or like views
Okay.
or architecture.
So it was always specifically like people.
It was
and then-
people, but it took me some time to figure out that I really like fashion, editorials, and in that sense, people.
And so when you like, of course, you started photography. How much for your first camera, right? I guess you had to have some money to buy it because it does cost a lot of money. How much was that camera in terms of like?
It's
For the
actually the
first one.
same camera
That are used here?
that they're using, that Shahid is having.
Oh, okay.
Just to
okay.
get a
The
little
Canon
inside perspective.
G7. Yeah.
Well, you could show it like
Actually, literally this one.
yeah.
Damn.
This used to be my baby.
Your baby.
I mean, I still have it, but I don't use it anymore.
We'll put it like
That's
open
nice.
it here. Oh, keep it shed. But so you bought that camera, and then it
Yeah.
was just let me take pictures of the most people I can, or all
Yeah.
people that you consider. Is there like a thing of like you look at a person and you're like, oh, I find that person very attractive or beautiful or whatever. I want to take a picture of them. Is that what came to mind, or was it just I want to take pictures of people? in
Like when
general?
I started?
yeah,
Or,
when you started in that.
yeah, I think I just wanted to kind of capture those mainstream portraits that I saw online, and I really liked the idea of it. So then I just used my friends.
Yeah.
And luckily, one of my best guy friends offered to like be my model.
Damn.
So I just kind of trained him. We kind of.
And that was the start of it?
And so did you have a vision like always from the start and then speak to people and to do it? Or was it more like friends influencing you also? Like what was the value of your network like and all that?
Definitely friends. And then I think what broke it the first time was my classmate that was a model at the time.
Yeah.
She kind of went with me, and then she was doing like these crazy poses, and everything clicked so well. So then I was like, oh, maybe I should shoot models more.
Yeah.
So then I kind of reached out to models or modeling agencies, or actually like photographers that did it like professionally.
Oh, okay. So you did start reaching out straight away to people. Or did it take like a certain amount of time?
It took a time. It took a lot of time actually.
How long did it take you to like get into that phase?
I think like a year.
So, because I was gonna say, like most people when they do these projects, it takes them a long time to actually get into something where they're then contacting like people who do this maybe as a living, or so it took you like a whole year to then.
Yeah, because like the whole year I was just shooting friends or like whatever I was passionate about, and then the more I figured what was my focus or what I liked the most, then I started going more into that direction. So that's when I don't know, started. I took like a few workshops by bigger photographers in Prague. And that kind of like they brought in like models, and I was like, oh wow, this is like so cool.
Yeah.
So and then they gave me like a know-how of how to kind of approach it as well.
Yeah. But that's super interesting that you like. What was the motivation behind it? Do you have a motivation? There was no ever like I want to be a big time photographer, and that's what inspired you to start, or?
No, I think I just like the visions. So like I like the photos that are in magazines, which are the editorials, like the creative process of it. So that's what inspires me. So I don't aim to. I mean, I wouldn't mind if my photo would be in like one of those magazines.
Well,
but
I feel like that would be. That would be an accomplishment.
Yeah,
I mean, that would
definitely.
be amazing.
Definitely.
And you don't have that aspiration maybe of like in that way. Maybe
I have it.
Did that push your motivation kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I have it as something that would be nice, but I don't aim for it because I feel like if people aim for like they have a goal, they don't appreciate like the whole process.
I agree
of
with
it,
that.
so.
I think that applies the same thing for the podcast. Like for our goal, it's not the goal is of course the goal is to push and make the most you can, but also it's not to be the biggest thing, or that's not the goal. The goal is to do something that's creative, that's good, that's quality. And then see where it goes, right?
Yeah, I think it's getting started. Like
so we need time to like let's get into it. Like sometimes like even like when we realize I'm in front of a camera, I forget there's you got 3 cameras looking at you, and it's kind of like whoa, it's a lot. So it takes time to get used to it. And I think that's the same thing with photography. It must have taken time for you to learn how to do your photos, or and we'll show people kind of the photos that you have done. But it must have taken time. Like when you look back at some of the work you've done before, you must think, oh, that was not.
Yeah, definitely. But I knew that I just started off, and the same way that you're really approaching this podcast. That's why I always support anyone that is starting with anything, because starting off is the hardest part of doing anything.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
agree with that.
Can you tell us a bit about like first photo shoots, if you remember, or like maybe first paid photo shoot, or I don't know.
Oof, I don't remember my first paid photo shoot. I think.
Then maybe the first one.
She's
first
clear.
photo shoot, or like,
She's making.
but
you don't remember it means you've done a lot of them.
I mean, I've been doing it for like what 5 years.
5 years
5
now.
years.
Yeah. Okay. To give some
And
perspective.
actually, the journey of how I started getting paid for my photo shoot was also because when we were talking about how it's a long start to get somewhere,
Yeah.
It's also one of the most difficult things for artists is to get paid accordingly to the art.
For sure.
100%.
And especially when people don't really acknowledge photos as like something that should be paid for, since everyone has like a camera, everyone has a click, and that's how it is. But so how I started getting money was that I started asking like €2 for my photo.
Really?
Yeah, because when I started with my friends, I was just like, oh yeah, you can give me like €2. I mean, to be fair, I was
But that's smart though.
I was like 17. No.
Okay.
So yeah, what was the age that you started? Like 7. So if you said 5 years ago, must have been 17, 16.
2019-ish.
Okay.
So I was what, 18, 17?
Yeah,
Something like that.
Wow. And you would ask people, I'll give you €2 to be if I could take a photo of you.
Actually, I would take their photos, and I was like, oh, well, I'd appreciate like
okay, it's like to help, like you.
Yeah.
Okay, I get what you mean.
Yeah, and then I went on for
Getting
like, I made it more for like, I don't know, €8.
Okay, just slowly built up.
Slowly built up, and then like I just remember a friend of mine was like, why are you asking money for getting like making photos? Like, isn't it just a hobby? La 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 la.
Yeah.
So I just kept thinking from their perspective, like all of us students, la la la. And then whenever I talk with my like professional photographer friends, they were asking for like €100, la la la, and I was like, oh,
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't know. Like, I mean, I knew, but sometimes I realized it's actually the prices are pretty high. Like to get a proper photographer or someone who's respected,
Videographer also, yeah.
or videographer or anything, yeah.
But it's time mostly, I feel like. So it's in the end, you're selling your time and like also like all the equipment like you bought, etc. Like expertise.
No, that's true.
and equipment is not
Cheap.
cheap.
Yeah. No, it isn't.
We
It
don't.
isn't.
No,
We figured that one out.
Yeah, we have a lot of like luck to have Danny actually.
Yeah.
Like very very professional setup, etc.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
without him,
it's
it
very
would
nice
be
setup,
complicated,
honestly.
honestly.
Does the backstage agree? But no, yeah, I feel like it's funny to think that you come from, now I think you would charge a lot more, right, for someone to use your time, but you started with a humble €2. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not it shows like the, the process of where you came from and where you've got now, and then maybe in the future to where you're gonna then
Definitely.
kind of get. So it
Definitely.
shows.
So what has been the progress so far?
Money-wise?
I don't know. Money-wise,
Projects.
projects-wise, yeah.
Projects-wise, I think I figured out a lot on which way I want to lead my creativity.
Yeah.
As in, like, starting from taking portraits of, like, anyone to more doing, like, fashion, brands, models, portraits, and, like, in that sense. And then I also have, like, a better sense of working in a team.
Yeah.
And I like it more because then if I'm working on like bigger projects, it's nice when like there's a makeup artist, there's a stylist, and they all can contribute with what they know best. And then I can just capture the photo itself.
Okay.
Rather than just me and the model, then I have to take care of the styling, the makeup, la 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 la.
Yeah.
And then there's like hair crazy, and then there's something showing.
And that's a question I had, like when I went through your Insta and I saw some of the things that you've done and all that, which we'll show to people. But do you have, so when you take those photos, a lot of the times, these people, they have makeup and stuff. Do you have stylists that help? Or is it like kind of like you're coordinating with them and then you're able to take your photos? Because a lot of the times the students sometimes that you take photos of, they're, elegantly dressed or stuff like that. So that's my question. Do you partner mostly with other people to do these things?
Ever since I moved here, which was a year and a half ago, I don't have that many. I mean, I think I collaborated with a stylist just once or twice.
Okay.
But she's great, by the way.
Shout out to her. I don't know who it is, but
Joyce.
Joyce? Yeah, shout out Joyce. Shout out Joyce.
And then a makeup artist that became a close friend of mine as well, Sar. Shout out to Sar.
Shout out to Sarah.
We've done a few projects, makeup wise, because she also kind of finished her makeup school, so she was looking for faces and I was looking for like faces as well.
Okay.
And people to collaborate with. So she would contribute with makeup and I would make like the whole mood board, and then if we didn't have styling, I would just work with the model to kind of figure out what to have them wear on the shoot.
Okay. And would you say there's like specific difficulties that you've encountered in terms of doing these shoots and working with a lot of people? Is it like, I don't know, it could be the time consuming part of it, or it can be the organization, it's messy, or is there certain difficulties you've encountered in that regards?
Definitely. I mean, now talking about the outfits, it's when I'm working with someone that I don't know personally, because I like working with people that I've met.
Okay.
then it's difficult to figure out what's their style when I don't know anything about it. And Instagram is a big lie.
Yeah.
So I can't really figure out what's their style, and I can't have them send me their whole wardrobe. So it's difficult to like guess which way they would want to go, because I want them to feel comfortable as well. So I don't want them, if they're like wearing, I don't know, all the time black, have them wear, I don't know, bright pink or something.
Yeah. And do you focus on that? Like when you're trying to take a picture of someone, it's like they have to be themselves and how they usually style them, or you give them advice, oh, I want you to kind of wear this, or...
Yeah, how does the vision work, like, on that side?
It's always interested me, you know?
I mean, I do like to capture the people's essence, like the way I kind of sense and read them as a person. So I do want them to be authentic, but I do want it to kind of...
Redirected, I guess.
Yeah,
like
in a way.
Stand out. Yeah, stand out.
Like I guess
out
like the beauty of it is that they are also themselves, and it's different to the person that you previously took a photo of. So like in that
not
way,
in comparison, but like
no,
as
but
a photo.
In like as a photo, like independently, you want it like, oh, this is completely different to that photo that I took of this person and that person, and
it's just like the diversity of people as well. Like you just capture their differences and their individuality. Which I do.
Of course, we have to highlight that. IFCOM, that's such an IFCOM word, bro.
Sorry.
Highlight their individuality.
For sure.
But it's true, though. Like, I mean, when I was going for your Insta, I saw a lot of students that we're friends with, you've taken photos of.
Yeah.
And they're so different from each other. Like,
I agree. But even, like, it's weird because seeing them in real life and then how you shoot them, it's, like, you see the romance part of it and like the more real life, it's, I don't know, I like the contrast.
And I love your advice on that. What do you think of, like, because you do these a lot of photo shoots, you have that Instagram's a lie kind of thing, and when you meet people, you're like, oh damn, I thought you would be more like in that way, because I guess maybe sometimes people that you've met, you kind of have an image of them based off what they post on Insta, but it's completely different to how they actually dress in real life, or actually who they are in real life. So, like, do you have, like, specific, like, kind of encounters like that where you realize that? You don't have to name drop, but, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I have it, I feel like, very often. I feel like the Instagram doesn't say much about a person.
No.
So I've encountered it a lot. Like, I've had people that look very, very shy. But when I see them in real life, so, like, their Instagram is giving off, like, more shy
vibes.
And then when I meet them, they're, like, very... extremely gorgeous, and I'm like, what the
yeah. Like, why don't you put that forward more?
Yes. So
but then maybe people are, you know, it's not easy for everyone to be
definitely
able to post like a picture of yourself and be like, oh, confident enough of like, I want everyone to see this, right?
Yeah.
And then some people don't have a lot of self-confidence, so sometimes that plays into it.
That is true. But yeah, I said like one of the examples that came to my mind, but there are also people that seemed like extremely outgoing on Insta, but when I met them, they were like,
And does that like annoy you, or you don't really?
No, I just enjoy the way people are. It's so different than what they seem, and I don't know. I just like to. I
think that's like one of the best parts of being maybe a photographer, is that you get to like people are just so different. Like, you got the differences that are just so. The highlight, it's just amazing. Like, you could take photos of someone who's so like in this way, and then you got someone
I feel like you take out a like universe of people also.
It is. It
romance it, like
literally.
Especially like in Rotterdam, I feel I think we are in a city very much that has so many people that are so different. You got people that like to dress
100%.
in a certain more street way. Then you got people who are more, you know, hippie in their way, or whatever it is. Like, and it's just so. Different, and
it's amazing.
It's very classic.
When I'm in the tram, even this morning coming here, I swear there were two people sat next to each other, both the same age, and their dress sense was the complete opposite. Literally. And they both were dripping, but in different ways.
Yes.
And I just find, if I was thinking about the fact that, you know, we're interviewing you, I was like, if you could take a photo right now of these two people, it would be so cool, but it would be so different, like, realities.
Yes, exactly. And I like thinking about that as well.
As a project,
Yeah, so that's the kind of the beauty of it, I think. I
love it. Yeah, especially like photography, especially when it's like just me and the model. It can get very intimidating and intimate. Like, it's a very intimate moment because they're letting you capture them, and it's like your job to make them first. I mean, I take it as my job to make them feel the most comfortable and to let them kind of open up in a way. And it's also my responsibility in a sense to like capture them in the best way possible, because you don't want like a photographer.
Like that pressure kind of like, because
Yeah.
I don't know. Whenever
sometimes.
like Shahid tries to take a photo of me, because that does it, I'm so not comfortable in front of the like I'm comfortable in front of cameras like this talking, but the photo I'm just not. I don't think I'm photogenic or whatever the fuck the word is. Like I feel like I do weird faces every time. Like I'm like
I feel you, bro. I feel you so much.
Yeah, because you're put on the spot.
It's like I don't know. I can't do a pose. Like like I feel like some people have that thing where they can go like. I think
it's like an acting
camera,
kind of thing, you know? It's like acting,
but you can maybe do it, but I can't.
Yeah,
it stresses me out.
But I feel like you just have to laugh like every time. So you just like,
I know,
he tries to act and then he goes like.
The thing is like Shahid will be like, no, but Nico, like look more like this way, and then I'll look like this. I'll be like, I'm looking into the distance, which is not like. That's not how you do it.
Bro, you have so funny reactions, bro.
I know. When people like on Insta, a lot of guys do this photo where they're kind of like, looking off like that.
Away.
Then like looking away, like, looking into the future, or, like dreams or whatever. And that's what I kind of try to do, like, it just doesn't work. But so that's a question I have. Like, do you have to like, try to like tell people how to... Is it like uncomfortable in a way? Like, do you have that? I don't know. When you're taking photos,
probably the models know how to do it.
It's getting better and better, like for me to tell people what to do. But I do have a lot of the time, like a majority of the time when I'm shooting someone, they're like, "You have to tell me what to do. I'm not. I don't." And I'm like, "It's okay.
Like
calm down."
stress, yeah.
So
no stress.
I think they're more stressed about me being stressed. So when I make sure that I'm not stressed, then they're relaxed.
Yeah.
And I know that at the beginning everything is like a bit tense. Like everyone's like, eh. Exactly how you were like, eh.
Yeah.
So then like the more time goes by and the more they see the results, they get more comfortable, and then eventually we'll get to like their authentic.
Yeah. But I think that's the goal. Like you have to try and push towards that.
Exactly.
For sure.
But,
did you have any project that you liked like the most, like working on? A specific one. Maybe we can pull up, I don't know, a picture, something like that. We can show it to
you can always
people
send it
also.
to us. We can edit it in. But
Yeah.
It could be good also to speak a bit about, the project.
I have a few, and I had this question asked a few days ago, so I'll just say the same. I think it's my rainbow project that is like pinned in my Instagram. So
Okay. So for everyone who wants to, do you want to name drop your Instagram right now?
Let's put it up. Bro.
If we have a certain amount of viewers, hopefully, right?
Yeah,
You wanna,
definitely.
Definitely, don't worry. There's thousands of people watching right now, bro. Live and direct.
Exactly. So I think that was one of my favorite ones because it was very hectic in a way. I shot it back in Prague, and we had a week to figure out the mood board, figure out the people. It's based on like rainbow colors. There's no deeper meaning of it, but like just like the vision was like.
Yeah. So like just to kind of give context, it's what is the main part of it? Like what is it supposed to?
Which one is it?
It's this is my.
We'll edit it in for the viewers just so people know, right?
Just so we can look at it.
But
oh damn.
How many people are there?
Well, damn.
Six, right?
There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. So I wanted to make a project that colorway is based on the rainbow colors.
I remember
so I had to get
really
6 people, 6 colored outfits. I had a makeup artist, a set design, a friend that helped with set design and the styling.
And this was all orchestrated by you? No.
Yeah, I mean.
Where was this?
Where?
Yeah.
It's close by Prague.
Oh, okay.
A bit far away. So we had to get 2 cars as well.
Wow.
To
full on projects, Tyna.
Yeah,
man.
literally. So and I was like, I can't let them starve. It's gonna be a full day. La la la.
Yeah.
And then the makeup artist had to like not paint, but put makeup on like 6 people. So it was hectic, but we managed in a week. So in a week, I was like, I'm leaving. I think it was before I left for Rotterdam. So I was like, I need to make like a bigger project. So I had to get 6 people in a week, outfits, makeup artist, vision, place, and make sure that the models would be on time. And some of the models had a modeling agency, so I had to get it approved from the modeling agency. Like
That's
the whole
stressful.
But like the day that came, everyone came on time. Everything worked out. We weren't like we were on schedule.
Yeah.
Nothing fucked up. Can I curse?
Yeah, no, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, it fucked up real bad. Yeah. Don't worry, it's fine.
We managed with the car. We managed to move everyone, transport everyone. Everyone was super happy, the weather was nice, golden hour, perfect, and then
Golden hour.
it was all like
So just everything just went perfectly.
everything just went perfect.
And that is probably what, maybe, I don't know, is it the biggest project you've done single-handedly, like you've participated in or orchestrated in that way?
I think
Because that's a lot.
organizational wise and logistically wise, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was, how long ago was that?
A year ago in summer, a year and a half ago.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Because that's cool. Because when that's
Yeah.
one of the first ones. It is pinned, so I remember seeing
It's
it.
pinned.
And I being like, the contrast with those photos and then the ones you do with students, it's like a level up in a way of like the production of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, it's cool that you could do so many different types of photography.
Yeah.
Because it's not sticking to one specific thing.
Yeah. Those are my favorite ones, but I don't think I've done like a bigger project like this here yet, just because.
No, yet is the word.
Yet.
Yet.
It's coming.
Coming soon. But in terms of the future, we had a specific question about that. Was like in the next 5 to 10 years.
What's the vision?
Yeah.
Where do you want to go?
Where would you want to see yourself?
Damn.
Because that's what I love putting under pressure people, right, who are creative. We asked the same thing to Arish, who was here before. What do you want to do? You know, if you're doing so much right now, so creative, but where would you want to see it go?
So maybe, what do you like to do, and what would you like to do in the future?
Put it simply. It's a tough question, I know.
Damn.
You gotta find a response to that.
Okay. So currently I'm doing like photography.
Yeah.
So where I would like to be, I think I still want to keep photography as a side thing rather than a main thing
Okay.
in 5 or 10 years. Because I just feel like if it would be a main thing, it would become too much of a pressure, and then I would stop
Lose
doing it
that
out
love.
of passion and more do it for like the living, and I don't want that.
So you wouldn't see yourself like working like full time on photography?
I don't think so. I mean, if I would eventually work out the way to, I don't know, work with a lot of brands or magazines or in the fashion industry, then maybe, yes. But I don't want to put pressure on that part.
Fair.
But I guess it can be, you think of like the pressure of it will get to you if you're doing it as a full-time job.
Yes, I think so. Because like exactly like the way I described my favorite project was because it was like my project. And once there's like someone else involved, like a client or like another pressure, I feel like I withdraw my creativity.
No, I think that's fair, but I think that can kind of apply with a lot of people. They kind of like, it doesn't become that you don't have that love anymore for it. You more have that, I've got to do this to be able to do well in my job or whatever.
For sure.
Yeah.
Also, like artistic direction wise, I feel like once you start working with people, it's you're
you have
like
to find
limiting
compromises.
yourself. Yeah, exactly.
But then if you love it so much, would you want to just like keeping it as a side hustle? Would you not think to yourself, oh, the potential of where I could go with it, you know? Like
I don't really think about the potential because I know if there's potential, I will do it.
Okay,
fair.
I get what you mean.
So,
but like, imagine being,
but you couldn't see yourself like getting big and
that's what I was about to say. Like, seeing yourself kind of go and be like, oh, I'm a photographer for a bigger. It doesn't have to be a company, corporation, magazine, whatever it is, or a variety show, anything like that. Maybe that would be such a goal of yours, or maybe not. I don't know.
yes, that's the thing. I don't set goals like that.
Okay,
No, that's fair.
But,
that's interesting. Yeah.
But I don't want to put that pressure on me.
Yeah, okay.
But like I do want one day to have my photos published in like a magazine or something. That's one of my goals, definitely. But I think I want to switch the creativity. I mean, I've been telling Paul that I want to start video making again. Because that's where it was supposed to initially start.
I gotta put you in contact with my man Danny right here.
We're gonna work on something together.
Sure.
I think I just want to explore the creativity elsewhere for now because I feel a bit stagnant with my photos.
But do you think also the location has to do that? Rather than maybe you've done a lot of the things you wanted to do, and so now you kind of like don't know where to go?
Actually, in an opposite way. I mean, I've done a lot of things that I wanted to do back when I was in Prague. And then when I moved, it was very, I think a very difficult and challenging aspect of it was to start from ground zero.
Again, I feel you so much. But the same like for
we
music on
talked
my
about
side,
it.
Like when you know, get back into music, but you're not in the same environment, like it's so weird.
Yeah.
You know, because
And starting from zero when you've already worked your way from ground zero somewhere else, it's like difficult to start again. And it's very
like,
demotivating.
I did all this and
it's
now.
very demotivating.
Yeah.
But don't you think that's also part of the process in terms of like, if you want to get to a certain point or whatever, you're gonna have these knockbacks and you're gonna have these things where you go back to zero and you gotta go back again and again and keep on pushing.
Yeah, definitely. I think it is a part of. I mean, I'm not giving up on photography 100%, but like, I feel like I have to focus my creativity elsewhere just so I can go back to photography as it is.
Okay.
So now I'll just play around with some video
No,
making.
it's good. I feel like there's so much you can do in that space. So there's no pressure. But if you said, okay, you want to have it as a side hustle, then what would you maybe want to do else? Like you said, video making, but in the next 5-10 years, what would you see yourself doing in other aspects?
Maybe let's phrase it a bit differently. If you had like any option possible, so like unlimited budget, etc.
Yeah, that's better.
What would you do? Like in terms of clip, movie, shoots, equipment, anything. What would be like the thing you would do? You know. Kids, take your time.
That's a tough one though.
Uh,
Putting Tina on the spot right now for all viewers right now.
Yeah, I think it's a very it's too much connected to my personality. I think I would start my own brand.
Okay.
No, fair.
It's literally from another aspect.
So like fashion.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Wow.
then okay, but
And like creative direction in a way. I
okay.
think.
So you would always
Talker.
want to, because we're talking about that, you would always want to work in creative aspect, creative industries. So that's for sure. Something to
sure.
do with creativity in that way.
Yes.
Okay, that's why going on to creativity.
Okay. So what does it actually mean to be creative for you?
That's my question.
That
I
was
love when we were doing the structure. I was like, I love that question. What does it mean to be creative?
Tiki taka.
What does it mean to be creative?
Yeah.
Is that the question?
That is the question,
It's a
yeah.
broad question. We're gonna dig deep into it because there's
Okay.
layers to this.
What does it mean to be creative? I mean, we had the creativity and innovation course.
Yeah,
It's very much linked to that.
it's
What does it mean to be creative? I think when you're coming up with things that are in your mind spontaneously and working with that, rather than sticking to what you've been taught, what you've been learned due to society, parents,
yeah.
work, school, whatever.
Mm.
You just do things differently a bit.
Yeah.
And
Like,
then you...
do you think there's kind of this, a lot of people are restrained because they have this fear factor of doing things differently?
Could be, yes.
Because when I, talk with a lot of people, I think a lot of times people, and myself included, we kind of follow each other, right? And so creativity is about doing different, being different, doing differently, and embracing that difference.
Yes.
And I think when you relate it even to society, that's why it's so important that we have people that do things differently. And I wanted your like kind of thinking about that. Do you think we need more people to think differently? Because I definitely do.
100%. Always.
Because society, man, is just like, I feel like we're so focused on following each other. And even when you talk with a lot of the people, I guess when you do photo shoots and all that, I'm guessing you see how differently creative they are. So that's kind of my question. Do you think society needs more people that are creative? And in what way?
I mean, I do think that everyone is creative in a way.
Okay, yeah.
So
That's
I don't
what
think
That's what she said. That's what our teacher said. But I say, shout out to our teacher because she's very, very
Yes.
creative. But yeah.
She's crazy though.
Yeah, she's low-key crazy. But, we
But in
know
the best way possible. In the best way possible.
Yes.
In case she watches
Yeah.
this.
If ever she finds this, well, we do love you. But yeah.
Yeah.
No, she is very out there. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I know that creativity is like a skill set in everyone that cannot be actually like improved or increased. So like everyone has like a certain amount of creativity. I mean,
Oh, really?
that's what someone told
so
me.
that's
actually.
what you think?
No, that's what someone told me. I think in my old uni, because I did
Okay.
like a little gap
little
year.
gap year program from before. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you think that everyone, you don't have a full potential of creative. We all have like a certain amount of it, and either you exploit it or you don't.
Yeah.
I find that interesting because in some ways I kind of disagree.
Yeah, I disagree too, honestly.
I would say more like, I feel like we all have a lot of creativity, but you don't know how far you can push that creativity.
Yeah. I feel like people don't play that much with their imagination. especially when like growing up. Like I feel like most of like creative people that I meet, they kind of have this like inner child, you know, still like they're still dreaming like kids, but just with like some more like maturity, I guess. Like so they just like have this vision and, you know, go through like the realist perspective of, oh, what can I actually do, but also like, oh, what do I dream about, you know? And
because that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like, I don't know, like we're like what Paul said, I don't think there's any limit to your creativity. So I was surprised that you said like you think in that
I mean,
way.
I don't mean it as like a limit. But like
I do agree though that people that are not, I think we talked about it was like convergent and divergent thinking, right?
Yeah.
Some people think in very creative ways, and some people think in very
like outside of
logical.
the box.
It's like the left hemisphere and right hemisphere.
Just to put it, convergent and divergent, like different broader terms for it.
Yeah, I mean, it goes hand in hand because like then divergent think like about everything, and then the convergent just take the useful things.
Exactly. Yeah, sure. And there's no better way, I think, of doing it. You need a little bit of both to be successful in anything if you're going to be creative or whatever. But going into that, next one is, do you think more young people specifically, and I'm talking about our generation, we need creativity and we need to be creative because there's a lack of it maybe, do you think, or there isn't? Put it that way.
Okay, let's rephrase
it.
Yeah.
Cut it.
No, it's just, do you think like young people should be more creative in general? Do you think like creativity is something we need, or is it just something, you know, for artistic people like us?
No, we definitely need creativity, and I don't think it has to be fixated on just our generation, because even like the older generations needs to stay creative. Because if you're like a businessman in your 50s, you still need creativity and innovation, to not be stuck, because then the younger generation will overrule that. So I feel like everyone needs creativity. Yes.
To be like, to have like a different approach to creativity per generation, or maybe like keep it balanced, kind of. Yeah. Because like my parents' creativity, I feel, is very different to how we approach creativity, and I find that super interesting.
But I think in like every thing you do in life, you could be creative. Like
you can be cooking. You can be creative.
No, it's true. It can be cooking, but I think we need that. Otherwise, it's boring. Like, otherwise, what's the point? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, some people get comfortable in their habits.
But the excitement of like living life, right? Of like going and living the experience is also that you have new things, and that you are creative, and creativity is so broad. Like the term can be like visioned in so many different ways. So I think we need creativity. We need to keep on being creativity if we want to, you know, have a more better future maybe, because right now it's not going in the best way. So we need more creativity, and we need to embrace creativity. And I think that's also a thing. Do you think like the fact that we all go to school and they don't incorporate creativity in a lot of academic like structure, do you think that kind of like negatively impacts a lot of people? Because I do, and I think it's bad in that way.
Yes, I do think so.
Yeah, because, like, but in what way would you say that we would then need to restructure it in that aspect?
I mean, we have a good example, because media and communication is pretty much like during tutorials, they do embrace us to be creative. True. Sometimes too much, but it's needed. It's actually better than like letting us read.
Way too much. Sometimes way too much. There's too much.
Yeah, it's like every week you have some group work. Make videos, make presentations. But in a way, it's like it pushes you to do something a bit creative, a bit extra. So it's a different way to approach education, rather than just like reading 100 pages and then doing a quiz and don't remember anything, and compete in your grades and all that. So
like I bet it's putting people like out of their comfort zone. It's so important.
Yes.
Like, with all of us, like, you know,
for sure.
When I'm in class, and a lot of the people, I find it very interesting. They're not that comfortable when they're presenting or when they're talking in front of people. And for a course that does IPCOM, you think, maybe people would be. But it shows that people need to be more maybe outside of their comfort zone to be able to explore that creativity and be comfortable with being creative. Because I mean, that's the most important part.
Yeah,
like, you have to be comfortable.
But I think it links back to what I was saying with like the inner child stuff and shit. Because it's like being creative is actually, it's kind of childish in a way, because you're like playing with your imagination. Yeah. Then you kind of have like to own it up, like, you know, to like stand up for yourself.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I would say. Yeah. So even when you become like, you're doing your photography, right? And you're thinking of a creative way to take a photo, that sense of that imagination coming into you, you're comfortable with that idea. But a lot of people wouldn't be, because they think, oh, what would people think about
same
that?
Same for a model, like doing a cool pose, stuff like that. Like you should go for it. Like it's your imagination, etc.
100%. That's why I really like admire like the fact that you're super creative, even in the way she dresses. I mean, like it's true though. You dye your hair, you got like little panther things on your hair. Sometimes I'm like, what? Tina's she's dripping, bro.
Thanks. Thank you. But no, I wanted to say, wait, I have to link back to my thoughts. I do like the way you approach inner child, because I do think that the inner child plays a big role in the way you approach creativity as well. So like if you let your child that is inside you speak out and like let you do whatever, then I feel like there's like this joy that comes with it that is like really nice. But then when people are like, you're being weird about it, la la la, shut up. Let my inner child be.
No, it's true. Exactly. It's true.
Just have to like, own it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's that inner child. People have a joy in them doing these things, and I think a lot of people don't have a joy in what they do or what they're pursuing. I ask a lot of people when they do their studies, do you like it? A lot of people don't like it.
Yeah, that's
so
sad,
why do it? I don't really understand. Like, I think we have to embrace more things that we like and what you're good at also, and try and find like a balance between what you like and what you're good at, and then apply that to
everything.
To everything.
To everything.
Yeah, attitude, whatever, job, career, family, friends.
I feel like a lot of people don't like very much underestimate the potential there is. Because they think like, okay, finish your studies, get a job, la la la. That's what's gonna secure you a good life. That's not it.
No, it's not it.
Exactly.
And I think also our world is our generation, our society is changing in that aspect, because now you got so many options of how to quote unquote make it. Does that make sense? A lot of people don't need to study anymore. A lot of people can literally take a camera, vlog themselves, put it online, and will make more money than you ever will working a 9 to 5. And that is absolutely insane when you think about it.
It's actually insane.
And so it changes the game.
I think it's also like changing now, because now we have so much more like creators, like, these small people, like actually just like us. Like
it is.
So actually, I don't know if like all these YouTubers and stuff will be like as rich as they used to be in the future, or if it will just be, like some more low income revenue.
Maybe it'll be harder to like get
through it, I guess.
Yeah, no, I can see that being definitely a thing. But it's good that we have also a lot of creatives, but then we also need people who don't use their creativity maybe as a career.
You kind of need like consumers, like if you want to be creative in the end, it's still like...
you need consumers, and you need also people who are going to work in things that are maybe not as creative, because we need a society that works in general.
But I think that's also hard in being an artist, is saying like, okay, I'm gonna be the guy that's gonna create the stuff that the other people are gonna look at. It's like,
no, it's true.
You kind of need to be like entitled, but also you need to be humble, because obviously otherwise people don't want to look at you. But,
And, you talk about like being the one thinking, oh, I'm the one who's gonna make that content. Do you kind of feel like that pressure when you're posting something of like, oh, people are gonna judge, or people are gonna think? Do you ever think like that? Because I don't think you do, which I really like. But maybe you do. Maybe in a certain way, you kind of like feel this pressure of are people going to respond well to it, or you know what I mean?
I do, I think. I do care, but I don't care as much. But I do, like, it is important for me. But I think it does a lot the way I am surrounded by people. So the way I'm surrounded by, like, my closest friends and the type of people I'm surrounded with, I know that they're, like, always supportive and always pushing. So that helps me not to think about like the outside people. But then when I do have an outside person that's gonna, I don't know, give me a feedback that is kind of hurtful but useful at the same time, like what is it called?
Constructive.
Constructive feedback. Then I appreciate it, but it kind of hurts me.
But
I get it pushes me.
I get it for sure.
But I think that's good though, because it. Constructive, as long as it's constructive, of course. It's not someone going, yo, Tina, you're shit. You're just shit.
Exactly.
But if it's constructive, then it will help you be able to, get better and take it into account. And we all need a support group that's real with each other.
100%.
You can't have people who are just like, I love your stuff, like all the time. You need someone to be like, you know what, I think you should have done this differently, or I think you should, do this in a different way. So I think that's very, very much needed.
But I actually like the people that are like straight up honest. Like,
Oh, yeah,
I prefer somebody that tells me, "Oh, your thing is shit," than someone that tells me like, "Oh, it's so cool." Because like everybody can say it's so cool, but not everybody's gonna say like it's shit. You know, like.
True.
So I think if you want to do a favor to an artist, be honest. You know.
Be honest.
Say through.
But be constructive also. Don't just be like, oh, I don't like it. Give
honestly, but if you
don't.
say like it's shit because I don't like your voice, or it's shit because I don't like your visuals or stuff like that, like I will still appreciate it, honestly.
Yeah, but then there's also a way of doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like if someone came up to you and was like, I don't like your photos, but you'd want to know why. Like, and if she says, I don't like photos because, I don't know, like I don't like your photos. You know what I mean? Like you need constructive feedback if it's going to be.
True.
But
Definitely.
Have you had that kind of a lot of people who've told you, do this differently or stuff like that?
Not on like my general photos.
Mm-hmm.
Like not that someone would look at my photos and be like, oh, I don't really like it, because I don't think people would do it like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Unless I ask for it. I do have people that I shoot with.
Mm-hmm.
Where I send them the edited versions because I never sent unedited photos.
Okay.
Not a good experience.
Yeah,
but and they would be like, "Oh, I don't really like the editing, la 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 la." But then that's like I just have to work with it. Like I just have to like find a compromise so that they like it, and then
100%. It takes time, like, and then you get better as you go.
Exactly. Also, everyone likes something different. Like
that's the problem with this world. Everyone likes different things, man.
Sometimes I like very colorful edits in my shoots.
Yeah.
And then sometimes people like it less.
Yeah, like a black and white kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love that vibe. Was it the one with Anselme? It was kind of like a dark.
Anselme, I really liked it. Like you
did a photo with him, I think. I don't know if you remember.
Photo shoot.
Which one?
I don't know. I saw one on
last
Instagram.
year.
I think we did 2.
In the tunnel, I think.
Is it in the tunnel?
I think in the tunnel.
Yeah,
tunnel.
Anselme is a friend of ours, and you did a photo, but it was kind of like black and white.
Central Station.
She knows more about it.
let me think.
This one.
Yes.
Yeah,
This one. I liked it.
I really like that.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to ask Anselme if we can put it in, but
yeah. We'll ask Anselme if but I think he doesn't mind. And that one was
he
good.
doesn't mind.
He doesn't care.
He was also my first model here,
cool.
so that was nice.
That must have been beginning of last year.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That one's a cool
We haven't shot
really
in a while, but I'm planning one project with him as well.
Damn, Tina's got projects. Welcome back, everybody, after the break for the 5th time in a row. We're back with Tyna, of course, the magnificent, beautiful Tyna.
Thank you.
Paul, you want to discuss? We were talking about relatability with people in terms of what you do in photography, and we were discussing specifically how do you get started. What is your advice for people to get started in photography?
So I think just start with your own resources in the first place.
Okay.
And then kind of figure out what you like and the area you want to be more in, so you can reach out to photographers that have been doing it for a while and then ask for their tips and tricks to get into the industry. So it doesn't have to be, in my case, fashion photography, for example.
Yeah.
But if it is, then you just reach out to brands, modeling agencies, actually strangers as well.
Yeah,
because
you gotta be comfortable with the idea of going up to people and then maybe them rejecting you and stuff like that.
Exactly, and like a big part of that is networking. So you gotta start networking, and then you start.
For all people, man, you gotta network. You gotta build your what's it called again?
Your network, bro.
Yeah,
your network for sure.
Even your resume also.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, meeting people. I think a lot of people get further in life or in career-wise because of the people that they've met along the way. So
Definitely.
Gotta be open to meeting different people.
And also, people will come back to you.
Yeah.
Like they will think through.
Yeah. No, 100%. And then also discussing. We were discussing
in terms of budget.
Yeah, the budget and then the time. So budget and time. What was your experience and then the advice you give for new people getting into photography?
The budget, you can start off with 0. You can just get a used camera or something.
Yeah. Or like a rent, maybe. No, renting was that's expensive,
I don't
right?
think so. Yeah, just get, I don't know, your mom probably has a camera at home, your dad maybe. Or just like a very cheap camera out of like a second-hand shop. Could be it. Like the equipment doesn't really matter. You just gotta work on your skills, and then you can work a few part-time jobs.
Yeah, of course.
Save up and get a proper camera.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. Okay.
And then time-wise, usually it takes like when you're doing these photo shoots, you said it usually took an hour, right? We discussed about it being an hour long.
Yeah, the shoot itself takes about an hour, but then you have preparation and then post-production as well.
Yeah. So like for people to give like them a little bit of a context, should they like always expect to be doing it for a certain amount of time, or do you kind of go with the notion of it could take as long as 3 hours as it could take usually an hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes? Like
It's very individual, I think.
Yeah.
Depends if it's like a bigger project, you're gonna stay there for a longer time. But also it doesn't have to be always an hour. I've had shoots where within 15 minutes I had
So,
what I wanted.
Yeah, wrapped and done.
And then I would just be shooting so much stuff that there's no way I
Yeah.
would find use for that. But yeah.
Not fair.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so maybe for people like to make it a bit more relatable, how do you find your style in photography? What would be your advice?
Oh.
You shoot a lot and you shoot everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
You just do a lot of shoots. I've heard advice of like shoot every day something, which
Okay.
is very hard to do, but
But it's
it is
like the
manageable.
idea of it is
Exactly.
the bit, yeah.
Like it's just like you figure out what you want on the way. So if you
Yeah.
shoot everything, I also did events. I've done architecture. I've done pregnancy photos. I did family photos. I did portraits, weddings.
Yeah.
La 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 la.
And then you found
And then I found what I really like.
that's
have joy in.
yeah, that's something really important, especially in photography, because you could take photos of anything. So you got to figure out
Exactly.
what you
Exactly.
like taking photos of.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Because I think a lot of people really like, the beautiful scenery. A lot of people like people taking photos of people
Yes.
themselves. Then you can mix both, and then you got architecture design. So
Exactly. You have it more creative, less creative. You have
Yeah.
cars.
yeah, that's true. Also, like objects, things like
Exactly.
that.
Actually, I'm curious about something because like most of us, people, when we take a photo, it's just like on the moment we saw something cool or something like that, and we're like, oh, okay, let me pull up my phone. I'm gonna do a picture,
Yeah.
But so for you, do you actually plan what you want to do like in advance and shit, or is it just you go out with your camera and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go there and take some pictures?
No. Usually I plan it. I plan the shoots beforehand with the mood board and like the type of poses that I want to try out. But I work a lot with the models themselves on the spot to
Yeah.
like.
Like create a better.
Do you do it also
better
like
show.
some photos like alone, or do you only work that way like with other people, professional setting?
I
like,
love working with other people. I used to work with I used to do self-portrait during COVID era just to kind of play around, see where my creativity is. But that was nice. That kind of helped me kind of know my angles
Yeah.
and how to get more comfortable and how to pose other people as well. So
Yeah,
but I don't do that a lot.
I think it's
shit.
good. You have to create like a connection, especially with the people that you're then taking photos of. You have to have that connection with them and create that synergy.
And actually, speaking about that, for people that would want to create that connection with you, how can they do that? How can they, contact
Yeah.
you to get on a shoot?
We're promoting Tyna here, people.
Yes. Slide into my DMs.
Yeah.
My Instagram is at le_Christina.
We'll put it in. We'll put it in.
We'll put
It's
it. We'll
gonna
put
be
it in.
there.
No, we will. We will put it in.
Thank you guys.
So what should they like prepare like coming to you?
So whenever someone reaches out for me to shoot, I usually send a price list. But also when sometimes I do make projects that have zero budget,
Yeah.
where it's just my personal project and I just want to go crazy with it. People can reach out to me, and then if I think they could be a good fit for the project, I can reach out to them.
Yeah.
Or they inspire me so much that I really want to shoot them just like because
Yeah.
they speak to me. But yeah, usually I send a price list or I keep them.
Yeah. Show your
And
value to
like-
the people, man. But yeah, so I guess everybody who wants to contact Tyna, it'll be on the Insta that we've already probably
Yeah,
in
we've
the
put
edit,
it in
put it.
some point.
And I think this is yeah, we'll put it somewhere. It'll be there
Somewhere.
But this has been a good podcast. I think overall we've discussed a lot of things, Paul, haven't we?
Yeah, we did for sure.
We had some difficulties, but we've gone through them.
It's okay.
We've risen above them.
We learned.
We
Okay,
learned.
so maybe to conclude a bit.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice? Sorry, any advice?
Advice.
Advice. Do you have,
That's
you have some
that's,
advice?
that's the French.
Okay.
That's the French code for advice.
No, bro, I'm going French now. Okay, no. Do you have any advice for the community or people that want to get started into photography?
I think my main advice is to constantly push your boundaries.
Yeah, say it louder. Say it louder.
Push your boundaries.
Yeah, there you go. Push your limits, all that. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Is that like? Would you say that's the main thing when you're doing something that creative as photography? It's just pushing your boundaries, or
No, and stay authentic to yourself.
Yeah.
Always. And whatever you do, not just creatively wise, but
Yeah.
I think it projects into your art as well.
Yeah.
So just stay doing what really speaks to you.
Like I think, putting your identity into what you do then.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
talked also about like values in your art and
Yes.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Because you don't want to let the art then control you. You want to control your art. You see what I mean?
Exactly. Kind of.
See how I thought? You know that?
Kind of.
Just switch the themes around and I put it all in a way.
Poetic like that.
But it was been a great great podcast. I've really enjoyed
Thank
talking
you for
with
having me, guys.
Yeah, we
That was
do.
top shit.
Thank you for coming on. Yeah,
You're great hosts.
Thank you, man.
Damn.
No,
So
it's not said
masculine, way
enough,
to
you know.
say.
I don't feel like we're appreciated by the backroom staff enough, you know. I'm just saying.
And the background stuff is also
No, they're
important.
amazing.
And they're
cool.
great.
And
Without them,
there's nothing. So
Exactly.
we appreciate them a lot. And everybody, thank you for watching. Discuss a lot of things, photography. If you're interested, like I said, DM Tina. She's always
DM
available.
us also.
She'll respond.
she's always available.
Yeah, no, but not now, hey. chill out, people. Hey,
Just kidding.
just kidding, yeah. And then also, we discussed a lot of things. So
Yeah,
thank you for watching, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you for
And
having
take care.
me.
Peace.
Bye.
Goodbye.